Covering the tsunami in Japan just a few years ago, I remember on day one or even day two, there were members of the Japanese Civil Defense Force and National Defense Force out, even though they didn't have heavy earth-moving equipment, they were out with sticks going through the rubble, trying to find survivors, trying to find those who had lost. I haven't seen that out. I haven't seen a large Philippine military presence out in these areas. We've seen it here at the airport, and we're seeing they're cleaning up now here at parts of the airport, which is certainly a good start. But have you seen that in your time out in the field?
No, I mean, the search and rescue operation doesn't even appear to have got started as far as I can see. I've spoken to officials, I spoke to the president, and he said we're focusing on the living. But the search and rescue just never seemed to materialize. I mean, in Japan, you barely saw a dead body after day two because they were systematically going through and trying to retrieve bodies and find people who are still alive. And they did find people who are still alive. Here, I haven't, I mean, I don't know about you, I haven't seen any evidence of that. I haven't seen any dogs
searching, I haven't seen any people.
I've seen 2 dogs.
Yeah.
In 5 days, I've seen 2 dogs.
The main hospitals have no electricity, have no supplies, and aren't actually admitting more patients. So if that clinic underneath that tower right there behind us doesn't have enough food and water for the people coming there, what does that tell you about everybody else? You would think that would be a top priority to be stocked with food and water.
Right, and Anderson, you hinted earlier that in Haiti,
the Philippines have not been invested in over the years due to years of corruption, due to years of government siphoning money off from projects like that, for decades of that, frankly, really going back a long time. So there are big infrastructure problems here that are all playing a part in this. But I'm not even talking about areas that are outlying. We're talking about Tacloban. We're talking about a few blocks from here, people not having water, not having access to food, not having access to shelter. I mean, a few blocks from the airport. So God only knows what's happening in small villages along the coast where people can't get to.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, this road into Tacloban city has been open since Sunday. I mean, we're now Wednesday, and still there's not enough supplies getting through to that area. And as you say, what's beyond that? I mean, there's like at least 100 kilometers more of area that has exactly the same damage as this.
This is the first time the Philippine military and authorities are actually starting to clean up the airport area, that's going to be a big improvement. That's a great thing. But again, not to take away from what they're doing, but this is day 5. It's frustrating for people who've been sitting at this airport for these 5 days, trying to figure out why wasn't that done on day 2 or day 3 or day 4.
Yeah.